What is Daoism? Daoism, also referred to as Taoism, is a Chinese philosophy attributed to Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher believed to be the author of the famous Dao De Jing. It is believed that Daoism developed from the folk religion of the people primarily in the rural areas of China, and became the official religion of the country under the Tang dynasty. As we can see, Daoism can be viewed both as a philosophy and a religion. One of the dominant themes in Daoism is the emphasis on doing what is natural, and going with the flow in accordance with the Tao, or the way, understood as a cosmic force which flows through all things and binds and releases them. According to scholars, Daoism grew from an observance of the natural world, and the religion developed out of a belief in cosmic balance maintained and regulated by the Tao. The original belief may or may not have included practices such as ancestor and spirit worship, but both of these principles are observed by many Taoists today and have been for centuries. It is interesting to note that Daoism exerted a great influence during the Tang dynasty, and the Emperor Xuanzong decreed it a state religion, mandating that people keep Taoist writings in their home. But it fell out of favor as the Tang dynasty declined and was replaced by Confucianism and Buddhism. But the religion is still practiced throughout China and other countries today. Origin of Daoism in a nutshell. The historian Sima Qian tells the story of Lao Tzu, a curator at the Royal Library in the state of Chu, who was a natural philosopher. Lao Tzu believed in the harmony of all things, and that people could live easily together if they only considered each other's feelings once in a while and recognized that their self-interest was not always in the interest of others. Lao Tzu grew impatient with people and with the corruption he saw in government, which caused the people so much pain and misery. He was so frustrated by his inability to change people's behavior that he decided to go into exile. As he was leaving China through the Western Pass, the gatekeeper Yin Shi stopped him because he recognized him as a philosopher. Yin Shi asked Lao Tzu to write a book for him before he left civilization forever, and Lao Tzu agreed. He sat down on a rock beside the gatekeeper and wrote the Dao De Jing, which can be roughly translated as the Book of the Way. Lao Tzu stopped writing when he felt he was finished, and then handed the book to Yin Shi, and walked through the Western Pass to vanish into the mist beyond. Sima Qian does not continue the story after this, but, presumably, if the story is true, Yin Shi would have then had the Dao De Jing copied and distributed. The Dao De Jing. It must be noted that the Dao De Jing is not a scripture in any way, but a book of poetry that presents the simple way of following the Tao and living life at peace with oneself, others, and the world of changes. A typical verse of the Dao De Jing advises, yield and overcome, empty and become full, bend and become straight, to direct a reader to a simpler way of living. Hence, as Lao Tzu would have us believe, instead of fighting against life and others, one can yield to circumstances, and let the things which are not really important go. Instead of insisting one is right all the time, one can empty one's self of that kind of pride and be open to learning from other people. Instead of clinging to old belief patterns and hanging on to the past, one can bend to new ideas and new ways of living. But some scholars argue that the Dao De Jing was most likely not written by Lao Tzu at the Western Pass, and may not have been written by him at all. In fact, these scholars believe that Lao Tzu probably did not exist, and that the Dao De Jing is a compilation of sayings set down by an unknown scribe. Whether this claim is true or not, what matters to the adherents of Daoism is what the book says. That is, it reminds people that they are connected to others and to the earth, and that everyone could live together peacefully if people would only be mindful of how their thoughts and actions affect themselves, others, and the earth. Core Taoist beliefs and virtues. Other Chinese texts relating to Daoism are the Zhuangzi, also known as the Zhuangzi, written by Zhuangzhu, and the Daozang from the Tang dynasty and Sung dynasty, which was compiled in the later Ming dynasty. All of these texts are based on the same kinds of observation of the natural world and the belief that human beings are innately good and only needed a reminder of their inner nature to pursue virtue over vice. There are no bad people, according to Taoist principles, only people who behave badly. Hence, for the adherents of Taoism, given the proper education and guidance toward understanding how the universe works, anyone could be a good person living in harmony with the earth and with others. At the core of Taoism, therefore, is the belief that the way of the Tao is in accordance with nature while resistance to the Tao is unnatural and causes friction. Therefore, the best way for a person to live, according to Taoism, is to submit to whatever life brings and be flexible. If a person adapts to the changes in life easily, that person will be happy. If a person resists the changes in life, that person will be unhappy. Hence, one's ultimate goal is to live at peace with the way of the Tao and recognize that everything that happens in life should be accepted as part of the eternal force which binds and moves through all things. In addition to the above core Taoist beliefs and virtues, Taoism also emphasizes the virtue of genuineness, longevity, health, immortality, vitality, wu-wei, understood as non-action, or a natural action in perfect alignment with the Tao, detachment, refinement, emptiness, spontaneity, transformation, and omnipotentiality. In the interest of time and space, PHILO-notes will not cover these concepts here. Some of the famous philosophies of Taoism, which are attributed to Lao Tzu and are expressed in sayings include: a good traveler has no fixed plans, and is not intent on arriving. He who knows, does not speak. He who speaks, does not know. What is firmly rooted cannot be pulled out. The wise man is one who knows what he does not know. Fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will blunt. To a mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Trying to understand is like straining through muddy water. Have the patience to wait. Be still and allow the mud to settle. Be content with what you have, rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there's nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you will try to hold on to. If you are not afraid of dying, there is nothing you cannot achieve.